All right. Hi,
Okay.
my name is Brandon Rayner, and I play trombone in the rock band Ruin the Night. We're taping this conversation Saturday, June 13th, as part of our ongoing series to chronicle the trials and tribulations of rebuilding our band. From our current state, which is not rehearsing at all, through the process of recording an album and ultimately a record release show, whatever that might look like and however long that might take. I'm excited to talk to Matt today because I know Matt the least out of anybody in the band. We just met last year, and so Matt, it's nice to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time.
Hi, Brandon.
I know, Matt, you're a team player. I can, already can tell that from playing with you just for a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit. I kind of wanted to go chronological. I just wanted to learn a bit more about you and your how you started your musical journey, and where did you get some of your musical interests from at the beginning? Like who's your influence? Do your parents?
My uncle, my great uncle played. Well, he was a singer. Sinatra was a fan, believe it or not. Jack Joyce was his name. And my mother and father both do. They sing for God. They're God-fearing Christians that play that sing for the choir. My brother's a bass player. He plays jazz, and I play guitar.
Did you play in the church at all to start, or?
God, no. No.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people. I mean, you can definitely, get your chops by playing that way. Yeah.
Well, the church we went to actually had, they would have a drum kit, they would have an electric guitar player, they'd have guitar solos and the whole thing in church. So it was pretty cool. But it wasn't for me.
That's cool. Did you start playing guitar? I saw a picture of you playing bass. Yeah, you started on bass, or?
I started on guitar. I went to college and for guitar, and I came back east. And
so where were you out west when you went to school out west? You said, or?
Yeah, I went to Musicians Institute out in Los Angeles, and that was unbelievable. But people asked why I moved home. It was like, well, it was so competitive. It was 95 or 96 or 94, mid 90s. And but it was like the guy that makes your hot dog could like smoke you on guitar. So it's just, there was just so much competition, and it was really, I didn't like the people there, and it was just not my thing. And so I came back, and then just made a few phone calls and came back this way. But it was great. Like Musicians Institute is amazing place to play, because you would be on stage all the time. I talked to people that were in Berkeley, and they'd be on stage like that much, and we were on stage every day, like just honing your craft. It was great.
You don't really learn that, like, the musical group skills, right? Where did you learn those?
Oh, I disagree 100%.
Okay.
If you want to be more like a team player and playing in a group, you could, join all these live playing workshops. So it was every day. It was every day. If you wanted to, you could be on stage. I'd say like 4 times a day if you wanted to, but I was really busy. So I'd be on stage maybe 10 times a week.
What part of music do you like the most? Like you talked about, session work. You played in bands. What element of music do you like the most?
I like practicing. I love teaching guitar. I love practicing the guitar. With the quarantine, whatever, and COVID, I play like 5 hours a day. I've never played more guitar, and I just love playing. I just love playing.
So moving on a little bit more towards like meeting everybody in Ruin the Night. Like who have you known the longest? You have anything to say about that?
So you and Dan, I didn't know from Adam.
Right.
when I jumped in, and even Norton I didn't know that well. I knew him, like we'd kind of give us, we kind of cheers at the bar or something. But it's got to be Duggan and Chip I knew the most. Probably Chip, because he's Chip, and he's always out and around.
So this is a picture of it looks like from 2015, A Goddamn Dracula Show, which Duggan.
I played that.
You played that?
Played that show, yeah. I had a theater gig that night in Arlington, and there was a snowstorm. Right, this is in February. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this gig, and I had a truck with rear wheel drive, so I couldn't get anywhere. It took me like 3 hours of just 20 miles an hour to get home. But that was a great night. The little, because I didn't see much of it. I saw the Drax, and that's definitely it. I saw maybe 2 songs, and no, but I'd seen them a bunch at that point.
Right. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna give you this one. I've never seen somebody more enthusiastically happy about being on stage and playing their instrument than you.
Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah, this is like one of the coolest pictures I've seen. Tell me about this, the context.
We were just drunk at Kodo playing with Aquanuts. That's the hair metal band that we would do. I was just talking to them today. But that's one of my favorite shots of Michelle and I. I love that woman. She used to work the door of the Abbey, and of course was in all those bands, the Marvels and the Dents and the all those bands that were great. And then we just, like, the phone rang to get together, and I think I wasn't living with Rod. I was still living in Dorchester, and we just kind of, I know you can play guitar and you can play some of those 80s guitar solos that are really hard, and would you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, Michelle's on board. I think Amy Griffin was playing guitar. Melissa Gibbs played guitar, and she was playing bass. And then we played Kodo a couple of times, and yeah, there's that photo. That's a good one.
All right, well, let me hit you with this one then. Here's, as we all have makeup shots, I have some.
Oh yeah. There's some guy liner on there for sure.
Guy line. I haven't heard that before. I've never heard that before.
Well, it's because you don't wear eyeliner, Brandon.
I mean, once upon a time.
And so it's just like an all-star Boston night, and that's me playing guitar.
That's cool. That's cool. I want to talk about Ruin the Night a little more. We've recorded one song in the studio, Voices. Do you want to tell me about because you have like pretty much the main hook in the song. You have a solo. What are your remembrances with putting that song together?
Sure, I'll show you. I was talking to a student about this the other day. Hopefully this will be a better sound than that. Yeah, so I guess it goes, the thing about Ruin the Night that's so cool for me is that we have, the foundation of guitar, bass, and drums, but then we have, keys. We have, you and Dan playing horns, and then also doing 3-part harmony vocals at times, so, and also I'm always late, which was, was kind of part of the deal, though. It's like, yeah, I'd love to do this, but I work until this time, and then I have to get back to work at this time. And excuse me.
You're always right on time. You're always right.
But either way, the way that it works out is really cool. Is that, like, you guys work on certain parts before other people come? We're going to work on vocal harmonies, and then we're going to work on the horn parts, and with it, and then I walk in, and the structure is kind of already there. So something like what Voices you said? So it was like right. So like, but we got a piano player, we got a bass player, we got all that. So I walk into okay. So it's like I can play that over the D, and then over the A, and then kind of bullshit between it. You can always. Well, that was what I was doing the first couple of weeks I came in. I was just bullshitting. It was like, if it's a D chord, you could do, chord, or here, or you can do all those weird things because there's so much going on. So that's why I really like this band. I could do whatever, and then something sticks. And Duggan's always like, how you doing over there? And my usual answer is, well, it's not popping yet. It's not doing what I want it to. I know the chords and I know what you're doing, but it's not what I want it to do yet. And then when I played that was really cool. It was just kind of like, it gives it more than just a, it's like whatever. If I went in and said, that's my song, those are just changes, man. Those just chords or whatever. But like, that's a line. It's nothing.
Yeah, especially when you have Chip playing keys and you have so many different elements of the band. And that's the other thing too, with you being such a great, musician and guitar player that you are. Most of the time, people like that will just go out crank it and not even, the fact that you're able to weave that part into the song and with the horns and everything else, I think that says a lot about you as a musician, all of us as matured musicians and as a band in general, I think. So.
We all work really well together. It's like everybody, I take a back seat when you guys want to work on the vocal harmonies, because that's the most important part of this. If your singer sucks, well, you kind of suck. That'd be good.
So we're going to go into the studio eventually here and record these songs, record this song again. What do you think we can do to this song? I'm putting you on the spot here, but what do you think we can do to this song to make it a little different from how we recorded it before?
I think that song's written. It's just going to be a better version because we've gigged it. So we've been out and doing it. Other songs that are newer, I think we're going to rewrite parts, and that's where that's why I don't want to rush a recording, because that's the worst idea. But the next couple of rehearsals, I think there's going to be some, I forgot about that, let me do this, and it's going to be better, Yeah,
I agree completely. You spend time in the practice space area. What's it been like recently? How do you feel?
It's kind of a boneyard for the most part, It's been weird though. I feel like Danny in The Shining on a big wheel. It's like there's nobody there, man. And I don't know if you've ever been in there when there's literally no one there at 12 o'clock in the morning, but it's kind of creepy. I really miss the Monday nights, and I know I have good days and bad days. And the last time we spoke on Monday, I was having a bad day. I get frustrated when I'm in that place, and I see people doing things that, like anywhere.
And I just want to thank you for being honest about, your position, how you feel, which is more reserved than other people in the band. Let's face it. And but it's going to take a push and pull, from everybody to know when the right time to do the next step, which is get in the rehearsal space.
But the other thing is just to be honest, sometimes it's well, for what? As long as there's a for what, I'm willing to do whatever. For gigs, there ain't no gigs coming anytime soon,
Well, you mentioned that. You said that in the text you wrote, you're not comfortable until you get the pill, which I think you meant. But the pill, I think you meant was, the vaccine, right?
The shot, the pill, the snort, the whatever it is,
I don't think it's going to be in snort form, I think.
Well, up the throat, whatever. Whatever it is, however you.
It'll be a more traditional pill or shot, I believe, for the.
But I'm not down to infect anybody. I've got people that are close to me that are sick.
Right.
If I go to a club, I don't know your situation. I don't know if your father is sick with heart disease or cancer or whatever. So I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And that's what it's going to take to get me out and doing it.
Me too. And I think that's good that you mentioned that, because I think it's all about goals, and our goal isn't necessarily to play a bunch of shows. I think the last goal, for me with this band, is to play a show to release the album, because that's how you release albums. You play a show. So I think that's good that I know for me personally that my intentions in the band are to play music. Like you said, we get into the space, you're still working. We're there to play. I'm coming from New Hampshire. I just want to play music, and that's my intentions. It's not anything else. You know what I'm saying? So I think when we have that as our core, we know we just want to play music, write music, record music, and make the best album we can make. I think we're grounded in a great way, and I think we have an advantage. And I think it's going to wipe a lot of bands out that have wrong intentions. You know what I'm saying? I think it puts us in a better spot in some ways. Maybe I'm stretching it, looking for a, silver lining here, but that's how I feel.
We'll figure it out, man. We'll make music somehow. We'll do it.
Anytime I can get you in a candid form like this, I just want to keep you here forever, but we have wives and lives, and get to it. And again, Matt, thank you very much.
Of course, Brandon.
Have a great day.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you Monday.
Okay, Matt.
All right, brother.
Bye. Yep.